to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Mills looking to the air right away. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
From the 39, Mills swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage, Mills. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is incomplete. The Broncos at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Mills. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Diggins. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Next, the receivers don't spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
They'll go right back to Pierce. Nice little juke. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Dameon Pierce is such a fun guy to watch as a runner. He can make a guy miss 1 second and then power through a defender the next. Never had a 100-yard game while in Florida, but I expect more than a handful here in the NFL.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. First and 10, it's Pierce. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And they'll try to throw here. Mills toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. A give to Burkhead on first down to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Mills. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here's Smith to return it. Oh, he shifts past him. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans, right at the 50-yard line. They'll get things started with a carry by Pierce, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Off the play fake, Mills. Got a man, it's Collins complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Nico Collins with the Houston 1st down, something he did 22 times as a rookie for the Texans. Back here as a starter, hopes that last year's 446 yards are just a floor of what he can do. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free. Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mills. Throwing the out, and I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, Because it went out of bounds, they retained possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Tyler Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for the Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 58 yards. And the Broncos are once again back in front. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They came out not so hot. The first quarter, they were sputtering a little bit, but they seem to have stayed the course and really righted the ship here in the 2nd.
Let's face it, all the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game, all the scouting reports, the practice, the repetition, sometimes you get a little bit of a lull to start things off. Maybe you get a little flat, but if you put in that time, you put in that effort, it can come back to you, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now can they keep that momentum going? And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And some space here. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. This pass caught by Hamler. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, and even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
To throw again on 2nd down, Mills. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing, Mills. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a 1st down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice.
And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Play action. It's Wilson. Out route complete to Dulcich. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson, as the first half is winding down, and the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. To throw, Mills. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the half, Mills. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On third down, Wilson. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 35 on second down, Wilson, he finds his man, complete. That's Beck. He'll get it inside the 20, and he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Oh, how about this on first and goal? He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the 2 now, second and goal. Throwing is Wilson. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Second and 10 now, third quarter action in Denver. Out of his end zone, Mills. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Pierce. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On third down, here's Mills. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. Yeah, that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A first down throw for Mills. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. That one goes for 30 yards. They took a real chance there, throwing deep from their own end zone.
Yeah, just think about it this way. If you take that shot, which they just did, you're giving those pass rushers an extra chance to get you. Your escape hatch behind you is gone because the end line is there. Yet at the same time, they took the gamble, and boy, did it pay off.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. So a nice bounce back there defensively after giving up the big play.
Yeah, you can either get down on yourself or you can get motivated. And that time, they dropped him for a loss. So I would say that they got motivated and made the play.
And that's complete to Cooks. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mills to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. They're returning it. Here's Hamler. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And all the way home for the Broncos score. K.J. Hamler, 36 yards. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now on 2nd and 13, Mills. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Mills. Throw right side, taken in by Collins. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Mills. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Mills to throw for it on 4th. Open man there is Collins, complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They go play action. Mills. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mills. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Well, these guys want to do something positive as this game approaches its end, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, it's really been more indicative of how the game has gone for them.
Fourth down, Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. The big fella. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? So this one